We had it up here yesterday. I don't know what happened to it.
No worries. Do you want to email it to us?
If we can have another round of applause for our fifth graders.
Welcome, families and friends, to our fifth grade celebration. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Spiker, who would like to say a few words to the fifth grade class.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Ben Spiker, and I'm the principal of Erdenheim Elementary. I couldn't be more excited to be here honoring our fifth grade students as they head off to middle school. I'll try to keep this short because I know I'm the least exciting part of the ceremony, and we want to get back to our students. Okay. If we can turn the mic up. Better. Okay. So thank you again all for being here. I couldn't be more excited to be honoring our fifth graders here this morning as they head off to middle school. I'll work to keep my remarks short because I want to get back to our students. But I want to talk about one big idea quickly, and then do a bunch of thank yous. So the big idea that I want to talk to our fifth graders about, and also to everyone else here, is the idea of community. So I was new this year at Erdenheim as the principal and new to Springfield. And one of the first things I noticed about Erdenheim overall, and this group of fifth graders in particular, are the deep bonds and connections they have with each other and the school overall. Something we call a sense of belonging. And you can measure that in a bunch of different ways. So one of the ways you can measure it, is in numbers. So we give surveys to students. On a recent survey, 95% of students said they felt a part of the school community, felt they belonged, which is a really high number for kids in fifth grade. So that's like a huge success, and a testament to our students and our staff. But you can also measure it with moments and memories that show the camaraderie and the togetherness of this group of students. I could have listed a whole bunch, but I just picked a couple that really stuck out with me as I thought about this group of fifth graders. So I remember on those first days of fifth grade with you with your giant fifth grade binders, your Chromebooks, your Stanley water bottles, your snacks, all those things, trying to figure out how to carry them as you transition from class to class for the first time. And, you know, like there are some times that you maybe were about to drop all those things or having a hard time holding on to them. And literally, there was always another student right there to literally like lend a helping hand and to support each other to grab that brand new expensive Chromebook before it fell on the floor. I can picture like little moments of you doing partner work in math class, laying on the carpet, working through hard problems and being like, how do you divide fractions again? I knew it yesterday, but it's hard today, and supporting each other. I think about those epic 5th grade wide tournaments of kickball and forkball and how much homeroom pride you had, but also how much teamwork and sportsmanship you showed in those moments. I think about you heading off to violin practice, saxophone practice, drumming in small groups, like so excited to go and learn together, like how to improve your music skills. I think about those giant, crazy obstacle courses that Mr. Crew built, and you literally, and you all like helping each other finish those encouraging words as you were exhausted at the end of a pacer test, supporting each other to keep going. And then I think about just like the little moments like you all sitting in the cafeteria, enjoying pizza on a Friday, like and making sure that everybody at your table felt included and a part of the conversation. So as you head off to middle school and the adventures that await you in 6th grade, I challenge you to hold on to that sense of community, support, and friendship that you have built in elementary school. As the content gets harder and you enter the sometimes bumpy teenage years, remember that you have such a supportive community around you every step of the way. So give yourself a round of applause for all the work that you've done in elementary school. And everybody in the room realizes that that sense of community and togetherness is a result of a lot of hard work from a lot of adults. And so I know we will be doing some student-led thank yous shortly, but I wanted to make sure that I gave a couple of thank yous before we got too far into our program, because that community is built by that hard work of adults. So first of all, thank you to the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, big brothers, all the family members who have been involved in getting our students to this point. Thank you for raising such great young people. Please give yourself a round of applause. And then, speaking of parents, we have the most amazing parent association, the EEHSP, who works tirelessly to put on community building events after school, on the weekends, and raising money to support our schools. I want to thank them for all that they've done, and especially the 5th grade subcommittee work for putting on all of the amazing 5th grade events this year. So let's give them a round of applause. I wanted to make sure I thank Dr. Yannicone and Dr. Johnston, our superintendent and assistant superintendent, for their support and involvement. Like, and just as an example of folks who may not know just how involved they are in our buildings, I don't know many districts where 2 people whose jobs are so busy would come every month to meet with a group of elementary students and get to hear feedback about how things are going. Sometimes very direct feedback from 11-year-olds, but they would come every month to hear our kids out and to be directly involved in the school. So thank you to the 2 of them. I also wanted to thank our district-wide building leaders. I'm represented here by Dr. Markle, Dr. Fuller, and Dr. Rittenhouse for the work that they've done to prepare our students at Enfield, and then to make sure that our middle school and our high school are amazing places for our kids to go next. Thanks to our facilities and technology team, this is the 3rd day in a row that they've been putting on major events. They're working tirelessly to make it all run smoothly. So thanks to them. I also wanted to thank our 5th grade teachers under the leadership of Mr. Blenheim, who's our grade team leader. Besides all the awesome stuff that teachers do all the time, they took on this extra challenge this year of adjusting a programming in 5th grade, teaching one subject, having kids rotating through. Like, it took a lot of problem solving, a lot of conversations to make that happen. And I think it has really helped to make our 5th graders so prepared to head off for middle school. 3 more, and then I'll pass it off to our students again. Besides our homeroom teachers, we just have such amazing faculty and staff at Erdenheim. We have our specials teachers, special educators, specialists, our clinical team members, aides who work with their students to make sure that they're inspired, supported, and challenged, and so that every day is full of learning and joy. Thank you to Mrs. Luxon and Mrs. Salmon in our main office. They do so much to keep everything running smoothly in our building. And then finally, last but not least, a big thanks to our assistant principal, Miss Mack. She supports our kids and teachers every day in so many ways. And as a new principal, like, she's been so helpful answering all of my 3,523 questions or so this year. So big round of applause for everybody involved. And with that, I'll turn it back to our MCs for the rest of our program. Thank you. Whose phone is this? Whose phone is it?
This year, we are thrilled to have our 5th grade advanced, This year, we are thrilled to have our 5th grade advanced band perform for all of us. Please sit back and enjoy Zigzag, directed by Dr. Rob Benton.
Please join me. Please join. Please join me. Please.
The light's still on.
Thank you for bearing with us as we try to get the microphones figured out. In a second, we're going to have some students come up and give some words of thanks, but we want to make sure that you can hear them. So give us just a second as we finish this up. But while we wait, if we can have another round of applause for our amazing band. Fifth graders who are part of the thank you, you can come up now so we're ready.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2. Great. So it is those main notes. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2. Nothing going to the bows? You've plugged the cord into. You've plugged this cord into the top first output on the Bose speaker? Yes. That's correct. All right, restarting the board. For the gym as the interim solution. Go now? Oh. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3. What the hell happened? Test 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. What do you mean nothing? What the hell happened between here and there? That's fine. I was just trying to get any sound out of it. And if you told me you're not getting any sound out of it. Test 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2.
This group, you guys are going to read from the podium.
What the hell just failed?
So you'll just pass the mic. All right. Thank you for your patience for using our backup.
Test 1, 2.
Biggest applause I've got. Thank you. So I'm going to turn it over to our student staff group. We're going to get some thank yous. We're going to just have to change the logistics around to make it work. Again, thank you for your patience. So students, just pass the mic back and forth from each other after your part is done. Okay?
Test 1, 2.
You know what? I'm going to mute that while he uses. Ask him to use the handheld mic for the moment. Great. Okay, so I want. Oh, this is gonna be spaghetti soup. Okay, go. Okay, so this doesn't work at all. Let's attach it. Okay, take red and orange, plug them into the back of the amp.
Mr. Spicer, Miss Macker, and Miss Love and Support. Our wonderful families, we wouldn't be here without your support and love. We thank you for your continuous effort, your comforting hugs, your kind words, and your never-ending love.
You keep us safe, provide for us, and instill core values that help us become the people you see today. As we continue to grow, your guidance and love will help mold us into respectful and responsible citizens.
Teachers, the dedication and hard work that you put in to ensure that our students be successful.
At the start of every year, we nervously walked into our new teacher's classroom full of questions and excitement, and every year we are blown away by how much fun learning can be.
Some projects we will always remember are counting to 100 in kindergarten, animal research in first grade, taking care of chicks and ducks in second grade, making buildings with multiple
finishing up the Wax Museum project in 5th. Your dedication to your craft and to us will never be forgotten. We are ready and prepared for the next step in our lives. We will cherish the memories that we were able to make with you here at Erdenheim.
We would also like to thank our specials teachers for the creative and fun projects and memories that we have made.
Our amazing choir at Erdenheim would have not been as harmonious without our amazing music department. Playing instruments with Dr. Benjamin, singing fun songs with Mr. Gibson, and then learning to play string instruments with Miss Chirawati has brought out the performers in.
Learning to type and code with Mr. Meyer and Tech shows how we can create something cool in just a few knowledgeable keystrokes. We will always remember your random questions of the day at the end of class. Your openness to answer the most absurd questions always made our day.
Exploring all types of literature brought us around the world to meet new cultures and experiences, all while sitting in our library with Mrs. Schulteis. Our classes in sports art was never dull. We always had such cool projects with interesting materials. Seeing our work hang around the school always brought us a sense of pride and accomplishment. Finally, gym class with crew always got our hearts racing. From basketball to hockey to the amazing obstacle course, Mr. Crew always made learning fun.
Test 1, 2.
Those we don't always see are so important.
I don't hear it out here. I don't.
We're to especially grateful for our bruises. From scrapes to bruises to just to lie down a bit, our nurses have always been there to make us better. Our school
Where our school where so
Do me a favor, friend. Use that microphone.
The batteries.
Test 1, 2. Use this.
And this is one.
You got this.
Our school aides wear so many different hats in order to support us and keep us safe. They work with us in small groups. They supervise our lunches and recess, and they fill in whenever called upon.
Our counselors and emotional support staff are truly amazing. Sometimes school and life can get really tough. Our counselors and emotional support staff ensure that each of us have a friendly and kind person to turn to in our moments of need. Your bright smiles and encouraging words keep us motivated to do our best.
In an age of technology, we would be lost without our tech support. You make sure our Chromebooks, smartboards, and iPads are working smoothly and without error. We thank you for the enormous task of connecting our school to the world.
For all those that work behind the scenes, we know that we do not often express our thanks, but we want you to know we recognize you and are grateful for your support. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you have done to make our elementary school year so memorable.
We now invite Mr. Blenheim's class to begin our recognition of our journey from elementary to middle school. We want to make sure that all of our families and we want to make sure that all of our students have the chance to be recognized. Families and friends, we know you are excited. So are we. We respectfully ask that you please hold your applause until all of the names have been called.
Okay, all right. Mr. Blenheim's class, Aiden Aponte Boyd. No. Enzo Bogachev. If you could just hold applause till the end, sorry. Amber Brooks. Callie Nia Brown. Rafael Cordozo. Abigail Kassar. Michael Charles. Lily Cupper. Caleb Clifton. Ciel Ferber. Shayla Flynn. Owen Ford. Ari Gans. Wyatt Holmes. Zachary Khan. Scarlett Keshagyan. Bryn Levitt. Emma Lyons. Olive Mundrick. Cassie Murphy. Gabe Pataki. Tegan Remus. Marion Seward. Sawyer Shapanik. Mr. Blenheim's class.
Mrs. A. Brown's class. Asher Balin. Amira Bauer. Avery Brady. Martin Brooker. Michael Campion. Ashley Garcia Pineda. Massimo Legrin. Samuel McGeed. Hudson Marsh. William McLaughlin. Carter Meller. Evan Midda.
Riley Paget. Yanni Papanikolaou. Marcos Rodriguez. Freya Rosenquist. Rachel Salazar Velez. Maximilian Saba. Emily Scarlett. Annette Schrader. Malachi Shockley. Charlotte Tresnadell. Kai Walker. Emily Welch. Mrs. Abrams' class.
Mrs. S. Brown's class. Lily Erin. Stefania Albanese. Canon Azizi. Sophia Bambi. Max Barr. Natalie Bishop. Matt Collins. Austin Dulick. Megan English. Nora Gallagher. Regan Griffith. Miles Hatton. Nolan Hans. Quinn Hughes. Stella Kerner. Keely McCusker. Reed McGowan. Caden McKenzie. Ben Nunez. Lila Patton. Olive Regenhard. Brendan Shane. Zoe Washington. Mrs. S. Brown's class.
Mrs. Ellerson's class. Violet Bellis. Grant Carman. Joseph Colville. Ronan Cavelli. Nicholas D'Amico. Ada Davini. Brooklyn Eder. Coven Fortune Franks. Olivia Generos. John Ryan Harris. Ella Hill. Cameron Hughes. Savannah Ingerson. Preston Jameson. Derek Lewis L. Antonella Liberatasholi. Henry May. Reagan Midget. Sai Sandella. Emmy Sane. Jovi Shields. Jackson Spear. Hannah Wilson. Jacob Zavea. Mrs. Ellerson's class.
Miss Holmes's class. Silvana Bonacci. Ethan Bykowski. Eloise Krager. Jackson Cruz Acevedo. Emily Feely. Molly Ferguson. Annabelle Fisher. Ryan Haggerty. Henry Jamison. Gianna Lavarerio. Derek Leonard. Kevin Luna. Callie Mathers. Maeve McGranahan. Graham Medwid. Mia Minetti. Christopher Moore. Ty Mountney. Mariano Pardo Salinas. Olivia Peak. Yushi Chu. Jesse Sane. Gabrielle Washington. Liam Wykowski. Miss Holmes's class.
Mrs. Wynn's class. Emily Akins. Caden Baldy. Jillian Boomenlag. Natalie Conlon. Benjamin Gitsevich. Keanu Gordon. Brendan Grabus. Grace Hagan. Peyton Heaven. Zachary Howard. Zoe Howard. Henry Kopp. Logan Lake. Caroline Malone. Stephen Mokichik. Elliot Morgan. Georgina Murphy. Sophia Murphy. Alexander Patron. Liam Powell. Colin Rook. Mia Sanderson. Nicholas Sola. Jamie Yee. Mrs. Wynn's class.
Mrs. O'Donnell's class. Sarah Kaplan. Ariana Catagnis Mignone. Grant Cooper. Nicholas DeVito. Ryan Duffy. Brianna Estrada Soto. Dawson Ferber. Maddox Ferrante. Philip Gallagher. Mara Gary. Fiona Grellis. Vivian Hardy. Tessa Holmes. Matilda Hoppus. Laura Kostova. Beck Marshall. Brian Meller. Sabrina Raphael. Ian Rubin. Stella Sorluco. Elizabeth Smith. Ruth Tabery. Henry Taylor. Mrs. O'Donnell's class.
Mr. Okawa's class. Katie Acevedo Zamora. May Oxer. Lawson Coleman. Ben Corcoran. Axel Drake. Reese Airsam. Ella Fliegelman. Annabelle Giordano. Caden King. Romy Magda. Gabe Manley. We do too. Bridget Martinez Cortez. Sarah McClinton. James Mondock. Nathan Patterson. Jace Preesing. Weishi Chu. Jackson Quinn. Zach Salmon. Robert Sava. Matthew Shore. Izzy Sokol. Selena Young. Mr. Okawa's class.
Mrs. Peak's class. Isla Brooks. Hudson Cohen. Leah Coles. Isabel Gallagher. Eliana Gant. Matthew Goodman. Kira Harris. Miles Harrison. Celine He. Camille Herzog. Cora Hitchcock. Brianna Holman. Miles Klink. Andrew LaPera. Amelia Malik. Annabelle Manning. Henna Morris. Benjamin Myers. Wyatt Odom. Ethan Pohl. Max Taraborelli. Scott Trush. Tegan Wise. Marcel Volchek. Jacob Workman. Mrs. Peak's class.
There we go. We hope that you enjoyed our performance by our 5th grade advanced band. Now we would also like to highlight our 5th grade orchestra. Please enjoy Spy Rock by Eric B. Davis, directed by Miss Alyssa Charawati.
please join me in a round of applause in appreciation of all the hard work the 5th grade orchestra has accomplished this year, as well as the dedication and support of Miss Charawati.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Zach Fuller, principal of the Springfield Township Middle School.
Good morning, Spartans, and congratulations on your promotion to the middle school. My name is Dr. Fuller, and I'm the proud principal of Springfield Township Middle School. I'm especially proud to be here with you on this very important occasion. Mr. Spiker asked me to be here today to say a few words of welcome and introduce myself to you and your families. Those of you who've met me before or who have older children, you already know what I'm going to say, so if you want to go blank for a little bit, I understand. But these students here in front of us haven't heard this yet, and every time I don't say it, I get asked to say it. So I'm going to say it now. I want to ask all of the people in here a question, all down here, all these 5th graders. I want to ask you a question, and I want you to think about it, and I want all the older students and the parents who've heard this before not to give it away. I want you to think about what your answer would be and think about your answer in your head, okay? Last year, and all the years before, we've asked all of our incoming 6th graders what thing gave them the most anxiety about coming to middle school? Think about it. What do you think they told us? Think about your answer, and I'll give you some hints. This gives you time to think about your answer. Here are the hints. They were worried about changing classes, but that wasn't the thing they thought about the most. They were a little apprehensive about going to school with bigger kids, but that's not what kept them on pins and needles. They thought the work might be harder, but that wasn't the number one thing. The number one thing was a tiny little piece of machinery, one that we give to every 6th grader on the first day of school, and that is the dreaded combination lock. The combination lock is no big deal at all. I'm telling you, I want to ease your fears. You will have it mastered in the first week or two of middle school, and then you can get down to the business of being your awesome Spartan selves. But if that's not enough, I want to give you 3 reasons not to be afraid of this little lock. Reason number 1, the lock represents the power of practice, resiliency, and eventual mastery. No one is born knowing how to operate a combination lock. And most people before middle school, they don't need to. But the beauty of the lock is that eventually it becomes second nature. This time next year, you'll swing into your locker between classes and you'll turn the knob smooth like butter and you'll get your locker open before you've even taken one step. And how does that happen? It happens with practice. You're going to do this at least twice every single day, assuming you lock your locker, for 180 days for the next 7 years in middle school and in high school. That's at least twice a day for the next 1,000 school days at least. And that means you're going to unlock that lock 2,000 times before you graduate at least, maybe up to 5,000 times. And there's a lesson. You are going to encounter things in middle school that are difficult or that may seem scary at first. They're going to be much, much harder than the little lock that I just showed you. Even if you're a good reader and a good thinker and a good mathematician, some of this stuff is hard. Algebra, tough. Public speaking, difficult. Cellular anatomy, don't even get me started. And it takes practice. And we know that. And that's okay. All we want from you, all we need from you, is to approach these things with optimism, fearlessness, and passion, like Spartans. Reason number 2, the lock is a tiny gateway to your own corner of the world beyond your home. I think one of the awesome things about middle school is that you get your own space for your own stuff, and that's pretty private and protected by a little lock. You finally have some ownership over a little bit of space that you can make your own. One of my favorite things is to walk down the hallway when sixth graders are first organizing their lockers and see how each student has made this pretty small little space their own. And you can tell a lot about a person by the way they organize their locker. Remember that. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they organize their locker. Make no mistake, this is the first step on the road to independence and personal space. But of course, there's a trade-off. The lock represents trust and responsibility. And you know what that means. It means we believe in you and we think you're ready to begin to make decisions for yourself. That your parents and your community and Enfield and Erdenheim have prepared you to make some choices on your own. And with those choices you make comes the responsibility for those choices. So while the lock means that you have some more freedom in middle school, it also means that you're ready to make the right choices and participate as citizens of your school and your community, and that's super exciting to me. It's the reason I love middle school. Okay, reason number 3. Did you know that there are over 60,000 combinations to a standard combination lock, like the one I showed you? Over 60,000. That means if it takes you 30 seconds to try a combination and you wanted to try them all, and you spent every hour of every school day trying combinations, it would take you an entire week of only standing at your locker trying combinations to try them all. And that's without eating lunch or going to the bathroom. You have a 1 in 60,000 chance of guessing the combination on the first try. Parents, just so you know, you have the same chances of dating a supermodel or striking it rich on Antiques Roadshow. What does that mean for you? I hope that every single student sitting here in front of us today is able to find the combination that excites them before they reach high school. We expose you to an awesome array of really cool things at the middle school. In the classroom, you get math and ELA and science and social studies, but you get STEM and art and music and health and wellness and citizenship and humanities and project history. We have great opportunities to get you involved in things like Robotics Club, Reading Olympics, Odyssey of the Mind, Service Club, Student Council, and many more. If there's something you want that we don't have, there are many, many ways to get something started. There are so many opportunities waiting for you through that tunnel, and many wonderful staff members and students ready to help you make STMS work for you. It is my privilege and pleasure to help you organize a wonderful space for you wonderful Spartans, and my hope is that through practice and perseverance, you are able to build the independence necessary to crack the combination that will unlock your future. Again, congratulations on your promotion to middle school, and I look forward to seeing everybody next year. Thank you so much.
There's one final group we would like to highlight, our 5th grade chorus. Please sit back and enjoy Keep Your Head Up by Andy Grammer, directed by Mr. Tyler Gibson.
Hello. Oh, it works, guy. There we go.
Waiting on the sunset. Please join me in one final round of applause in appreciation of the hard work of the 5th grade chorus has accomplished this year, as well as the dedication and support of Mr. Tyler Gibson.
As we conclude our ceremony, we would like to invite Miss Mack, our vice principal, to present our 5th graders with well wishes as they prepare to enter their middle school years.
Okay, good morning. So I'm trying to get my reading together. Okay. On behalf of Mr. Spiker and our entire Erdenheim staff, I want to take a moment to thank our Erdenheim families. As parents ourselves, Mr. Spiker and I know that when you send your children to school each day, you are entrusting us with their care. We thank you for your continued support, your kindness, your patience, your trust, and your partnership. In order for our students to be successful, we understand that the connection between home and school is imperative. Students, please give your families a round of applause. To our district leadership, Dr. Yannicone and Dr. Johnston, we appreciate your ongoing commitment to the success of every student in Springfield Township School District. We appreciate your continued efforts to ensure that we have all of the essential tools needed to educate our students on a daily basis. Through your monthly student advisory, which you've heard are interesting, and your presence in our building, our students are confident that you value their voices and are reassured that their unique experiences truly matter to you both. To our Erdenheim team, we cannot thank you enough for showing up every day to be champions for our students. You continue to be beautiful examples of perseverance. Each day, you inspire students to show up and give learning their best effort. You create opportunities for student collaboration. You value their individuality and their unique abilities. You give them constant reminders that the learning process often involves making mistakes and gaining important lessons. You reassure our students that there are trusted adults that they can go to when they need a listening ear. Thank you for approaching each day with the belief that every student deserves to be seen, loved, supported, and valued. And to our 5th graders, when I thought about what I wanted to say to you in your final days at Erdenheim, I figured that the best place to start would be at the beginning. In July of 2021, I arrived at Erdenheim on a quiet Friday afternoon. There was nobody there, just me and Mrs. Luxton, actually. I had no idea what the school year would bring, but I did know that there would be a new class of 3rd graders who would begin this journey with me as your new assistant principal. Recently, I went looking through a jar of shout-outs that I received from you all during our first year together. I smiled at your words of encouragement and your positive outlook, and you were far too kind, by the way, friends. And here's what a few of you said. Sam M. Miss Mack, you are inspiring, caring, empathetic, and the best assistant principal ever. Lila P., I love your Monday morning announcements. Henry K., you are kind and you always have pride. Eliana G., shout out to Miss Mack for being dependable when things get hard. Brooklyn E., thank you for keeping us safe. And this one, which didn't have a name on it. Miss Mack, you really helped me be brave when I got my first COVID shot and made me feel brave enough to get the second COVID shot. Then you congratulated me when I was done. That really stuck with me. Thank you so much. Friends, while it feels like a distant memory, I want to remind you that you are incredibly resilient and more capable than you know. Thank you for trusting that under my mask, there was a smile on my face, happy to greet you in the hallways each day. We began a chapter together that today we get to celebrate. I am beyond proud of how much you have grown over these 3 years. I continue to be inspired by the many ways that you have helped to make our school community a better place. As the Erdenheim class of 2024, you have demonstrated leadership for our school community and modeled for your younger peers that with hard work and determination, they too are capable of achieving whatever they set out to do. As a former middle school teacher, I can tell you that the journey to Springfield Township Middle School will be one where you will experience a greater sense of self, develop new friendships, find your independence, and discover many opportunities to make positive contributions to your school community. With the support of your families and the middle school team, we have the utmost confidence that your next chapter in your story will be just as rich and rewarding as your years spent here at Erdenheim. Friends, we are incredibly proud of you, and we are excited to hear about all the new and exciting experiences you will encounter as you continue your journey to middle school. Remember to be flexible and try new things. Approach each day with gratitude. Support a friend if they need it, and find your people who will love and support you. And most importantly, I will share with you what I shared with my son, which you guys know I always talk about, right? After he transitioned to a new school. We were driving to school one morning, and Caleb said, "Mommy, I just want to fit in." And I said, "Oh, no, kiddo. You don't have to fit in. You just have to know that you belong." So, my hope for you is that when you walk through the doors of the middle school in the fall, you will feel with complete confidence that you do, in fact, belong. Friends, congratulations and best wishes to you. I'm trying not to cry up here. My goodness. All right, I'm good. All right. So this concludes our 5th grade celebration. Before anybody moves, though, we want to thank you all for joining us today to celebrate such a wonderful milestone for your children. Families, after all students have exited the gym, we ask that each family send only one parent or guardian to pick up your child from the steel gym across the hall. You will have to see your child's homeroom teacher to sign them out today. For families who are parked in our upper lot at the Erdenheim upper parking lot, we ask that you try your best to exit prior to dismissal, so we're going to ask that you would try to get out of the parking lot so we can get our students ready for car line by 11:20. At this time, we will begin dismissal with Ms. Peak's class. Have a wonderful morning.